Let's talk about New Year's resolution and how to be successful at them. Now, most of us, as the year is ending, which I cannot believe has come so quickly, but as the year is ending, most of us are probably thinking of the New Year's resolutions that we want to have for the next year. Most of the time, and this is not to discourage anybody, but most of the times resolutions fail because we haven't necessarily focused on the commitment or the why we want to do the New Year resolution. So I ask you, before you start a New Year resolution, to really give yourself time to reflect on this year. And maybe this is a journal prompt that you sit and think about and respond to, but think of these few questions in prompting you in how this year went so that you can figure out what is it that you want to do differently in the next year. So some of the questions that I would ask you to look at or reflect on, whether it's a journal prompt or whether you're thinking about this as you're going on a walk, is what about this year worked for you? What about this year didn't work for you? What do you want to do more of? And what do you want to do less of? Is there anything you want to modify in terms of your habits or behavior for the coming year? Now, you may have quite a few responses based on these journal prompts, and I would have you narrow down your top 2 or your top 3. Remember, our brain really can't hold more than 5 to 7 things. So we don't want to overwhelm our brain by giving ourselves more things that we need to hold on. So pick 2 or 3 things that you want to make sure that you commit to in the next year, and write down why you want to commit to this thing. So I know for me this year, one of the commitments that I made was being more mindful. And what that meant for me was to slow down, because I tend to be a busybody. I tend to do multiple things at once. And so one of the commitments that I made was I wanted to have a slower schedule this year so that I'm not packing everything in my day. I also committed to making sure that before I'm making any decisions, that I'm really asking myself, is this really what I want to take on? And what would the impact be of this decision that I'm making? It allowed me to be more mindful in the moment on whether this is the thing that I wanted to start or take the next step on. So really figure out your why and allow yourself the consistency to build on every day as you are moving through next year. This may mean you have to allow room for error, because I have had many days this year where I wasn't as mindful as I would like to be, but I always was able to go back to the commitment that I wanted to make and reminding myself of my why. And so allow yourself, as you start this new year, to recognize that you have a few things you want to do this year, and you are trying to commit to consistently do this as much as you can, knowing that you're not going to be perfect, knowing that you are going to have some room for error, and knowing that you're doing the best you can with what you have. Let me know in the comments below, what are some of your New Year resolutions? If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on social media at The Indian Counselor.